young man was arrested and sent to El Salvador's notorious super prison, even though that nobody was actually looking for him and he was literally the wrong guy. 19-year-old Manuel Gutierrez was arrested by ICE for just hanging out, literally doing nothing at all. His father, Wilmer Gutierrez, told Documented, quote, "The officers grabbed him and two other boys right at the entrance to our building. One said, 'No, he's not the one.' Like they were looking for someone else, but the other said, 'Take him anyway. Just just take him anyway.' What does he fit the profile?" I mean, if you're still not understanding what is going on here, what this is, then I'm not sure I can help you. Okay? Look, this is racial profiling, which is leading people to being disappeared into foreign gulags. That's what's going on. This is what happened to Kilmar Abrego Garcia as well. And like Garcia, Gutierrez, who fled instability in his home country of Venezuela and was pursuing an asylum case in the United States, was detained by ICE after they were targeting or conducting a targeted operation to go after people who are supposed to be undocumented, even though he was here under temporary protected status. So legally allowed to be here, still disappeared, taken right off the street, and sent to a foreign prison. This is horrifying. Okay? Absolutely horrifying. Now, his family and attorneys say that Gutierrez has no criminal record, no gang affiliations, not even a tattoo. Because remember, ICE has been using tattoos to try to claim that the people that they're arresting are, they're members of a violent criminal gang. Look at the tattoo, scary tattoo. This guy didn't have any tattoos, no record or anything, but they disappeared him anyway. His father actually ended up spending days searching for any information related to his son, visiting police stations, courthouses, only to be told, "Who? There's no record of your son. Sorry, we don't have any records. He's just gone." Eventually, he did manage to find out that his son was being held in Pennsylvania, and was expected to be transferred to Texas before being returned to Venezuela, which did not happen. That transfer never occurred because he got sent to El Salvador. That's it. And his father only found out that he was sent to El Salvador through a news report. So, like, imagine going through all that information, trying to find out desperately what's happening to your son. And the only way that you can find out is a news report. And that's it. That's horrifying. Now, his father said, look, I could understand that if he was sent back to Venezuela. I would get it at least. But why is he going to a foreign country that he had never been to before? That he's not from? Never visited El Salvador? There's no reason. There's no reason. There's so much that is messed up about all of this. The profiling, the racial profiling, of course.
The Republican Party's racist.
Of course. The fact that he's not a criminal, has no criminal record. And by the way, even if you have done a crime, depending on what it is, that doesn't mean that you should be disappeared to a foreign gulag without any due process. And that's the big problem here. No due process. No due process whatsoever. And by the way, due process is how you figure out whether or not this person should be allowed to be here anyway, is legal to be here. So you kind of need due process. But based on this, I think it's pretty clear, should be clear to everybody, that this is a lawless administration that is disappearing people at will. When are people going to wake up? When are people going to wake up? What's to prevent Donald Trump from deporting, it's not even the right word, by the way, it would be exile, essentially, citizens of the United States, American citizens. Well, you would say, well, it's the law, obviously, the Constitution. You can't just go and do that. I mean, come on, that'd be crazy, right? Well, turns out that no, he is planning to figure out a way to try to send American citizens to a foreign prison.
Homegrowns are next. The homegrown's built. You got to build about 5 more places.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. It's not big enough.
I mean, listen to the laugh. They're laughing about sending homegrowns, okay, American citizens to an infamous torture prison, to what is essentially a concentration camp. That's what's going on. That's chilling. And there's not really a whole lot else that you can say about that. He is going to send his political enemies to an El Salvadoran death camp. That's what's going on. This is not deportation, it's exile. On non-existent charges of terrorism, by the way. Wake up, people. It is fascism 101. And it won't just happen to people like Garcia and Gutierrez. Eventually, anyone who stands up against this administration could end up being in one of these prisons. And look, this is already happening to other people. Mohsen Madawi, a Palestinian student here on a visa, had his visa canceled. And then he was arrested on allegations of, get this, anti-Semitism on college campus. BS charge, complete and total BS charge. And even more nonsensical considering that back in December of 2023, Madawi was interviewed by Bill Whitaker for a segment on 60 Minutes, where he recalled confronting an anti-Semitic agitator.
And a person comes down the stairs yelling, "Death to Jews." I was shocked, and I walked directly to the person and I told him, "You don't represent us because this is not something that we agree with." And I took the megaphone and I gave a speech and I said, "We here are conscious, educated students, and we know how to separate right from wrong. What this guy has said is clearly anti-Semitic against Jews.
Anti-Semitic.
To be anti-Semitic is unjust. And the fight for the freedom of Palestine and the fight against anti-Semitism go hand in hand, because injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere."
Does that guy sound like he's anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish? No. Look, all of this is related. For one, this is a way to send innocent people in order to, pad his lower deportation numbers. Remember, he's like, we're going to have the biggest deportation number ever. And it turns out that, no, we're actually not. Okay. He's still somehow deporting less people than Joe Biden did, which, yeah, if you can believe it. But most of the people that are getting deported do not have criminal records. We're working, okay, or we're people that tried to protest against a genocide. I mean, you're supposed to have freedom of speech here in this country, but not anymore. Not if you're an immigrant, okay? Not if you're a Latino, not if you're a black person, not if you're any sort of minority, okay? And so that, but also a way to spread fear in the immigrant community and in his political opposition. Don't you dare oppose us, because we will send you to a death camp in El Salvador. You will probably either get tortured or killed. And that's it. Wow. This is what fascist governments do. Anyone who told us that we're overreacting about Trump and his fascist tendencies, I got to ask you, you think we're overreacting now? 'Cause I'm pretty sure we're not. Do you finally get it? Do you understand the things that are happening right now in front of your eyes? Because if not, you better open them real quick. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.